Good day to you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Mark with Elias Wilf here to discuss wear layers. One of the first things that I wanted to discuss was there's 3 W's of the most important parts of retail flooring right now. The first one is wear layer, waterproof, and warranty. And let's face it, if your product doesn't have all 3 of those, then consumers are not asking for it. So the most important thing that we can discuss right now is the number one question I get is, Mark, what is the wear layer on your product? So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about wear layers, thicknesses, and then get to why Mannington's features and benefits of their wear layer is actually a little bit better than what's out there on the market as far as, hey, bring that, dude, come on, man. That was Pork Chop. You'll probably see him again. Anyway, let's get back to it. So now, the first thing I wanted to talk about is there are 3 basic types of wear layers on the market. The first wear layer is typically straight urethane or straight acrylic. The second wear layer is either urethane or acrylic with a topical additive, either ceramic bead or diamond dust. And the third wear layer, which is patented by Mannington, has aluminum oxide suspended in urethane. But before we get to that point, let's talk about thickness. So when we have this cake here, half the cake has about that much icing on it. The other half the cake has double the icing on the other side. This represents thickness of wear layers. If this product was a urethane or a straight acrylic, the thickness does matter. The reason thickness matters is because it's the depth of the scratch to get to the print that the manufacturer cares about. So if I have a 12 mil wear layer or an 8 mil wear layer or a 10 mil wear layer and it's urethane or acrylic and I scratch that wear layer and it goes through the icing and it hits the print, i.e. cake, then that product is compromised. Man, that tastes good. It is plant-based. The second part of that is if this is all things being equal and this is urethane again, and I take my finger and I run it across the top of that cake and damage that wear layer, man. But it does not hit the print. That wear layer, according to manufacturers' warranties, did its job by protecting the print. But sometimes end users or customers don't agree with what the manufacturers are stating. So what I want you guys to understand by that little demo there is that urethane is going to scratch like urethane. Acrylic is going to scratch like acrylic no matter how thick the wear layer is. The point is that to translate this into the field, if a customer comes home and they see their new vinyl plank floor, their waterproof floor, their solid rigid core floor, and they have some natural light coming in from the window and they see all these little surface scratches on it, the manufacturer is going to say, well, that falls under normal wear and tear, and it did not hit the print, so the protective layer did its job. But is that necessarily good enough for the end user? So again, it doesn't matter how thick wear layers are when it comes to urethane or acrylic, or even with an additive on top of the urethane. What matters is what it's made of. Those products will scratch just like everything else, doesn't matter how thick it is. So, the first wear layer you're going to see, represented by this cupcake with straight icing, is urethane or acrylic. 98% of all manufacturers use this type of wear layer or protective layer to protect the print on their floor. Urethane or acrylic is typically about a 2 to a 4 on a scratch resistance scale. And that scale is based on 1 out of 10, with the diamond being the hardest substance and rating a 10. So this particular wear layer is a 2 to 4, depending on the thickness. When it comes to urethane with ceramic bead or diamond dust, represented by this cupcake with sprinkles, this is going to rate anywhere from a 5 to a 7, depending on the amount of sprinkles that are put on top to protect it on the topical additive, and then also the thickness of the urethane. But just like the regular urethane or acrylic, you can wear right through that and hit the print. This particular one might take you a little bit longer, but you can wear right through those sprinkles, you can wear right through that urethane, and you can hit the print. I gotta stop doing that. When it comes to Mannington, what I want you guys to think about is, I don't want you to think about any of these analogies, right? I want you to think about a blueberry muffin. Mannington's patent holds the aluminum oxide suspended within the urethane. So within this thick protective layer, there's aluminum oxide crystals that are suspended. And basically what that means is that wear layer is a lot harder. It's a lot harder to scratch. It's a lot more durable. It gives much more long-term performance. So with that in mind, don't think of Mannington as a cupcake with a protective layer of icing. Think of Mannington as a blueberry muffin. And within that protective layer, you have blueberries floating all throughout that little layer, making sure that you actually never wear through that layer and hit the print. What that means to your customer is their floor is going to look newer longer. They're going to see far less surface scratching than they will with some of the other products on the market. Mannington's patented wear layer is called Scratch Resist, and it's basically a 9 out of 10 as far as overall scratch resistance and long-term performance. So as your customers come in the store and they're asking you if your products have a 20 mil wear layer, ask them to find out what they've heard about wear layers, and ask them a 20 mil what? The most important thing you can do is qualify each one of these products and each one of these wear layers, mainly because if you want to sell better goods and you want to make more money per ticket and you want to do less work for more money, you start selling better goods when you start telling the story of the better goods. So with that in mind, guys, I hope this really helps you guys clarify what's going on out there in the industry where it involves wear layers. Videos number 2 and 3 are coming when we talk about waterproof and warranty. Thank you so much, guys. Good selling. Once again, you rock.